Welcome everyone. So, full disclosure, this is my first time ever live streaming, so might be fun, might be an unmitigated disaster. Who knows? That's the fun part. So, I've got this green screen behind me because I was going to try using OBS's green screen thing, but it does not look great, so I think I'm gonna keep that off for now. Excuse me. All right, so obviously the reason for this stream is to celebrate 10,000 subscribers, which is actually crazy. Like, it's really surreal. You guys are awesome. So to celebrate, I thought it might be fun to kind of chill, pretty laid back, just make something live, go through, just kind of show my process in an unfiltered way. So basically going to be like my tutorials, but just we keep in all the awkward pauses. So that's going to be fun. So I have a few ideas of things that effects we could try, but since this is live, thought it might be fun to take suggestions, like give me a challenge, do something fun. If you guys have any ideas, things we could try. Anything? Okay. Ghostbusters Proton. Okay, right, because you left a thing before. Track an object, attach a proton. We can do that. Can start with that. So let's see. Track it to an object. Okay, so let's see. Let's see if I still have it. So a while ago, because my Ghostbusters tutorial was quite a while ago. That was one of my first ones. So back then, I was still trying to find a rhythm of what to do for videos. So my thought was, maybe I'll do like a what's it called? I'll do like a skit for each video. So I'll do with the skit with the effect, and then like the next week I'll have a tutorial coming out for it. Kind of like what Steve Ramsden does. I don't know if you know that channel. He does pretty good After Effects stuff, but he would do like a video just with the effect, and then like a week later he would have that come out next. But so I thought about doing that, and for a couple of my videos I did it with the WandaVision stuff and I think the Doc Ock stuff. But I filmed something for the Ghostbusters thing. I never ended up making it, but I don't know if I still have those files on my computer, because I have footage of me holding a vacuum cleaner like a proton pack. So let's see, source files. Got my files on a different monitor just so I can show it better. Let's see. I might have deleted those files. That is unfortunate. Alright, let's see. You know what? I've got footage that I use for my lasers that could work. Change product. Let's see. Sure, what did I change it to? Hope I didn't change it to something weird like 25. That's fine. Alright, so we'll just attach the proton stream to the end of her gun. I don't know if you can hear that, but the cat wants to get in. There are too many wires though. Sorry. Let's cut that, bring that down. Alright, that's pretty good. Go into Fusion. Alright. So I think first order of business will be tracking. So I'm going to add a tracker. That to the nozzle. Yeah. The adaptive mode to be best match. And maybe bring that down. Alright. Let's see. We've got more people coming. That's pretty cool. I have not used EV Synth yet. I want to. I have like a Word document full of things I want to try, and Absynth is on that list, or Absynth, however you pronounce it. That is on the list. I just haven't gotten around to trying it. Backrooms type effects, like what would that look like? Like just like putting myself in the backrooms, or like making a backroom shot. Because I've played around some with backrooms, making a backroom shot in Blender, but that there are already tutorials for that, so I don't know if. And plus, I don't have time to render anything from Blender live on stream. What are we making? We are making a Ghostbusters thing, but we're tracking it to a footage. All right, so let's see. How do we want to do this? There are different ways we could go about this. All of them will require a background node. So let's see. I guess I can try the way I did in tutorial. I will. You know what? Maybe instead of a. Let's see. How do I want to do this? I think I will. See, I could either make the Proton stream with the footage in mind, or I could make the Proton stream as its own thing and then add that to the footage later. I think I want to do that because I can get the angle and stuff moving better. Alright. That's maybe it'd be more perfectly straight if I added a rectangle. Then I'll just squeeze down the height a lot. Get wide, and I will round the corners. Okay. Color, I want it to be orange, I think. Alright, so see if I remember how to do this. Let's see. I want a displace node and a fast noise. Turn down the volume a little bit for the music for me. Alright, so let's dual viewer. I think I'm gonna turn off high quality motion blur, maybe auto proxy, just to keep things running smoothly. So I'm gonna go to XY. I have that plugged in. Yep. So I know that I'm gonna want to turn off the X offset. Turn off the offsets. I might not. Well, will I need any X offset, or will it need to be all Y? Because it's mostly just going up and down. Yeah. I think I'll keep it Y for now and then see how we feel. So I want to be. Ooh, that looks ugly. All right, so we don't want that. So we can already see kind of what it's going to be doing. Moving across here. So I think. All right. So I'm going to add a rectangle so that we only have. So are we wanting to be able to like just have it shooting out, or do we want to try to have it being able to control both ends? Because both ends could be a challenge, but that's what makes it fun. I think I'll do one for now, and then maybe we could try doing both ends later. Let's see. Maybe actually I don't want the Y offset to be off. No, I do want it to be off. Brightness, is that what yeah, the brightness is what I want to be. Oops. I want to make it move, so in the center, I'm gonna hit equals, add from the gun only. All right. So I'm gonna hit time. That's probably gonna be way too fast. That is in fact way too fast. So let's divide that by something. I don't know, let's start with 10. That's pretty good. It's not bad. I think I'm gonna bring out the brightness all the way. Looks better. I think I want them to be a little bit wider, you know, like that. I want it to be going, let's see, why don't I bring this to 0.2 maybe? No, that's not what I want. I guess I need to bring up the contrast more. Still looks a little fast. Does that feel fast? Maybe 15. Yeah, that's looking a little better. Oh, I feel like we've moved, so maybe I do want Y offset. Yeah. It's not bad. It's not bad. I feel like it could be moving more though. Like I feel like you could have it be more extreme. Let's see. Do I want to bring up the contrast more? Could be dangerous because you start getting weird artifacts if it does it wrong. Like you can already tell. Like in some places it's thicker, some places it's not. It's not. I mean that's the downside of using the displace method. Displace. That's not too bad. Maybe bring up the seed rate a little bit just so there is some undulation. Okay. So, alright, so we've got this. Do I want to add a glow? I think I'll go ahead and do that. X glow. Want that to be an orange color. I don't think I want it to be as strong. Yeah, maybe something like that. Then add it intensity just so I can adjust the colors. Because I definitely want the saturation up. Bring up. Yeah, that's nice and glowy, powerfully. Let's see. Alright, so now let's do the lightning. So let's see. Again, there are a bunch of different ways we can do this. I think I will try the way using the blitz. Because it depends on the look you want. Because I mean the look varies in the movies too. Obviously in the older ones, in the newer ones, it looks different, but alright. So this is a plugin. Make lightning. I'm gonna turn off the glow because I don't want that yet. Alright, so I should probably be looking at reference for all this, but I don't have any Ghostbusters reference. That looks pretty good. So let's just temporarily merge this over my thing so that I can bring it. So I'll just have one end over here at the beginning and then another one over at the end. Alright, that's moving a lot. Am I doing the production creator challenge? I don't know. Every time I see their monthly update, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do the VFX challenge this time, and then I never end up doing it. But I don't know, especially because the prize is a pro subscription. That's pretty good because I'm on their free, which is still pretty good, which still has a lot of stuff. But like, I mean, the pro would be pretty cool. But mundane movie, I guess that's why it's a challenge. Like, how do you add VFX stuff to a mundane? Again, that's why they call it a challenge. So the fun thing about this is that, well, actually, by default, it changes every other frame. I don't know why that is, but if I bring it down to 0, I think it should be every frame. There we go. That looks a little better. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste that, and that'll automatically add another one, but it changes the seed of it. So if I just add a bunch of them, well, now we have a lot of different lightnings. I think maybe on one of them I'll bring up the amplitude a bunch, just so we have a little bit more chaos. Is that too much? It feels like a little bit too much. I feel like the like core to lightning ratio is usually a little bit lighter than this. Although maybe I should bring down the amplitude a little bit more. Have them hug the core a little bit more. Yeah, that feels pretty good. So then to roughen it up, I'll add another displace. Let's see. This one. Another fast noise. Fast noise over here. Gonna bring out the size to start with 100. And the detail, obviously. Then bring down the offset. Spring. Be gentle with this. Don't want it to be too overbearing because it's really easy for it to just turn into nothing, just kind of noise. But keep it subtle. Yeah, that looks. Maybe it's a little too big. Maybe something like this. Yeah, it's pretty good. Do I want discontinuous or inverted? Kind of like that. That looks cool. Alright, now I'm gonna delete this merge. I don't actually need it. And So I'm gonna copy, actually, I can just copy the displace, and I can bring the same fast noise into it so that we're being efficient. So now they have the same curvature to them. I don't know, we may change it a little bit because it feels like they're a little too close now. Wonder if you'll be able to see them, but we can cross that bridge when we get there. So I'm going to add some glow again, X glow, and if I remember correctly, the blue I want it to be more of a purplish blue, because if you have it too light, the problem is you have two glowing effects that you're stacking on top of each other, so you have to figure out how to make sure they're not like getting lost in each other. Like that's why, like, if you're doing like a lightsaber effect, you want to do it over a darker background, because like right now this is black and it looks really cool and glowy, but if I added it over a white background, it's black, so let me change the screen, then it's, it's nothing, you can't really see it. So the darker the background, the more the glow is going to pop. So let's see if I add that, generate the screen. Yeah, so like that's already like, it's looking a little muddy for my taste. So I wonder if we shouldn't bring the amplitude up more. Yeah, that looks better. I wonder if, let's see, I'm not happy with the branching. I should have it be kind of like this. Whoa, that, it's not sure how. Like, it's too much. It's too much. It's a little too, maybe, yeah, let's bring them, maybe we don't need a little tiny bit. See, this is definitely closer to like how I normally work. Like VFX, like it's most of the time it's not like change the number to this, change it to 0.5. It's mostly just, all right, what looks not terrible, and just keep fiddling around with that. How does that look? It's slow. The X-Glow is a pretty slow plugin. I can see, just turn those off. It's not terrible. I don't know, how are we feeling about this? My perfectionist nature is saying that it could be a little better, but do I want the this to be brighter? I definitely feel like I need to bring up this saturation. We'll work with this for now and then see how I feel. Again, I'm gonna turn off these glows while I get the tracking. So merge this over. So obviously we need to track it into place so that it matches the tip of the gun, which would be a proton pack if I had footage that matched that. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. The footage is slightly tilted, so like it's moving facing the camera, so it should be getting bigger. So I'm definitely going to need to be adding a DVE node at the end of it to make it, fake that parallax. So my question is, should we add that before or after the transform? Well, I'll go ahead and add the transform because I know we're going to be doing that. So I'm going to add transform, right click on the center, and then I'm going to connect that to the tracker. Now the center of it is tracked to the center of our gun. I think before that, I'm going to add the transform, and then I'm just going to move it to the tip of the gun. How's that look? It could be a little more. There we go. So now it should stick with the gun. Honestly, like for this shot, the parallax I feel like isn't that big of an issue, but just for the sake of, I don't know, because I want to do it, I'm going to add a DVE node, and then I can, let's see, is that X? No, not X. It's Y. So now I could have it, facing, but it doesn't need to be that drastic. Something like that looks pretty good. I think maybe it needs to be tilting up a little bit more to match with the, because normally with the proton streams, like in the movies, like it has kind of a weight to them, like they hold them up but it like curves down, so like it's maybe angle it up a little bit more like that. Again, in this shot I don't think it'll make too big of a difference, but if we were doing a wide shot I would maybe try to give this more of an arc shape. Alright, so let's see, if I add my X glows, how does that look? That does not look good. So, let's see. Alright, okay, I see what's happening. Okay, so we are going to... Okay, here's what we're going to do. We are going to take out this merge and these tintensities. Alright, so now we have just the beam, and then I'm going to copy and paste these, and then now we have just the lightning. So now, let's see, I think this is the lightning. We can add the glow to the lightning and the glow to the beam core, whatever you call it, separately. And it's after the transform, so we don't have to worry about it like clipping coming out of the bounds. Alright, so then I'll just copy this merge. See, the problem is I feel like the blue is overpowering. Like I'm not getting a lot of the core, which I want to get the core. So maybe, let's see, do I want to bring down, do I want to bring down the gain? No, that looks gross. Right. No, I like that. Vibrance? Ooh, nope. Let's see. Vibrance you gotta be careful with. It can make or break your thing. Let's see, basic doesn't look terrible. Okay. Maybe if I play with the hue, make it more... It's not bad. I feel like this needs to be popping even more. So when I bring up the gamma, that's pretty good. Maybe if we can find a frame where they're like crossing over with each other more. It's definitely slow, but it's not terribly bad. I think what this could also use is a lens flare at the tip. So got a LF controls. These are also plugins from Reactor. So I'm going to connect that to the trigger one. It doesn't. I think these are the same. Then I'll add a, let's see, LF glow. Bring my controls into that. Take that, alright. Go ahead and merge that over so we can see how it looks. Alright, now that is too bright. That is too bright, so let's see. Maybe we'll bring down the brightness. That could be. Problem is that just kind of makes it more transparent, so I think I'll bring down the size. I don't like that color, so I'll make that. If I bring up a little bit, it's too bright. That's not bad. It's a little saturated, but yeah, it's a little saturated. So I want to add a brightness contrast, and I can bring down that saturation. I'm not, let's see. For this, I'm not loving the, kind of like light rays thing of it. Like I want it to be kind of more. There we go. That's better. Bring down the size. Oops, I do not know what that was. Alright, if I bring it down the brightness to just default. Really? It's sensitive right there. A little more. I don't know. I don't know how I'm feeling about this. Nope. Sure, I'm pretty fine with multiplying. Gamma. Nope. See, it's like too bright in one spot. If I bring up this. Okay, so that's what's. Why don't I just. Let's see. I delete it and then just add another one. Start fresh. Okay. So I know I definitely want the size to be smaller. And I think I will bring down the blend of the sparkle. Maybe not all the way, but and then, yeah, I want it to be more of that orangey color. How am I feeling about this? I don't know if I'm feeling this. What do you guys think? Feels a little, I don't know, cartoony. Maybe if I add a hoop. Hoops are cool. And make sure I put my controls into that. That's cool. And again, it does. Let's see if I just bring this to the screen. Do I have? Yeah. Well, I know what this definitely needs. We definitely need to be adding a little bit of blur. Let me just look at just this. Because you always need to add blur if you're adding CG stuff. And, well, okay, actually, that doesn't look terrible without it. This footage is pretty crisp anyway. But it does need some sharpening. I don't want the alpha, and definitely not too much. I want to be very, very subtle with stuff like this. It's really easy to go overboard, but that looks pretty good. Alright, let's see. Maybe have this be maybe somewhere more like here. That's a little distracting. Probably bring down the blend of it a little bit. Keep things subtle. That's often the trick. Add a lot of subtle things. See, I wonder, does this match the saturation of the footage? Because it looks a little... What I'm gonna do, let's see. I'm gonna do color correcting trick I learned. So I'm gonna hit R so I just see the red channel. And turn all these off. And now I can just affect the red channel. Oops. Then the green. Oops. And the blue. It's funny how it looks like it's clipping. Oh yeah, it is clipping. I should. Sure I am. brightness contrast. Maybe I'll just bring down the saturation a little bit so it fits better. I will be copying this, paste it. There we go. Let's see, what else does this need? We might be done here. I mean, there are other things we could obviously do, like we could add some lighting to her, but for just answering the question how to track it to the tip, this is already overkill for that. All right, so let's see. I don't know how long this will take to render. Oops. Is it? Oh no, it is going into media out. Ah, it's just being slow. Let me make sure. Let's see. Playback. Render cache. User. Lens dirt. That is a good idea. Thank you for that. Alright, so, okay. I think to make things easier, I'm actually going to get rid of this merge. Then I will... Actually, if I'm doing all these together, then I can go ahead and merge these together over here. And then we can just go ahead and have that as one thing. Alright, for the lens dirt, what I'm going to do, let me just organize my node tree. That's the one thing about nodes versus layers I'll give you. Nodes can get messy very quickly, especially if you are disorganized like I am. Alright, so lens dirt. So I will grab, let's see, I have a lens dirt asset right here. I want to, so it's not in comp resolution, it's pretty low res, but I will add a resize node. Boom, it's in the right. So now I'm going to add a blur disconnected from everything else. And I'm just going to blur that quite a bit. Then I'm going to, let's see if I remember how to do this. I'm going to merge this over that, and I'll set the apply mode to multiply. There we go. Now I can add that over our thing at screen. And then I think I'm going to add a brightness contrast and just bring up again so we're seeing more of it. Probably bring up the blur more. Let's see. And then obviously this is really strong, so I'm just going to bring that down really faint. Don't want it to be too noticeable. Want it to be more of a subconscious thing than a, oh, look at all the dirt on the lens. Thank you for that suggestion. Alright. I don't know how long this is going to take to render. It might take a second. Although it's moving. It's moving. The X glow specifically, it's a really good glow. Like, it's really nice looking, but that comes at the cost of it does take a while to render. So you kind of have to pick your poison. So like you saw when I was adjusting things, I was turning it off so that things would run smoother. Hello there. We got 20 viewers. That's not bad at all. If you're just joining, we are chilling, making cool VFX stuff. We just made a Ghostbusters kind of Proton stream attached to a gun or device, however you want to, whatever prop you want to use. I might wait until it like renders like maybe here. We don't have to wait for the whole thing, just enough that we can play it to the point where it moves smoothly. I'm going back in the chat a while. You could do the thing ML about modifying it with an offset. The thing is, if you have a track and then you modify it with an offset, that's going to be for all other things that use that track. So like I had the beam over here in the middle of the screen, and if I added the offset to move it over here, well then if I wanted to connect the lens flare to it, the lens flare would be moved over with that offset. At least in my experience, that seems to be the case. So it's just easier for me to do it with a transform node before. Like the stream, so he continues. Thank you. This is my first time streaming, but it's pretty fun so far. It's nice having the live chat. It's pretty cool. All right, I think this is probably at the point where I can hit play if it doesn't want to be slow. There we go. It's a little chaotic, and obviously the footage was not shot for this. So like, if you were filming something for this, first of all, I would have like some practical lights, like flashing lights for some practical stuff, and then you would want to like be shaking a lot to sell the. You can still connect the. Can you really? Huh. I guess I was mistaken. In my experience, it seemed to be like that, but let us put that to the test. Do I want to? Yeah, it's fine. So let's see. So if I. So I will. I'll just. Not gonna worry about I'll just do it with this one for now. So if I got rid of that transform, then in this transform, so are you saying like in the modifiers, just move these for the offset? Is that what you're talking about? So I guess if I move it over, whoops, that's not what I was trying to do. So yeah, that moved the proton stream over. That moved them both. So if I move over to my, well, what do you know? Oh, you do have to modify it with offset. Oh, so like add a modifier to. Then why does it work though with the hoop? Like the hoop's still in place even though I modified. Oh wait. Oh no, wait. If I turn. Oh, okay. Okay, I was confused. I thought it updated it with the other thing, but that's interesting. That is good to know. Thank you for that. Ooh, sparks. That is a good idea. Sparks are fun. All right, so the question is, do we want sparks coming from just the tip of the gun, or do we want sparks coming from everything? I think I'm gonna try having sparks come out of everything, just for fun. So let's see. I think I will have this. So now we're getting into particles. How fun! Particles are fun though. A lot of. It's been a minute since I played around with them. I used to play around with them a ton, but all right. So 2D. So I want the region to be bitmap. Then I will take place. So now we have particles being there. I'm going to turn off the checker underlay so you can actually see them. I don't know how much the compression is going to be, but all right. So I'm gonna turn up the number. All right. So now we have that. That alone is pretty cool. Like that's cool. See, that's the thing about particles. They're like so mesmerizing. So I want a lot of number variants and a lot of lifespan variants. I think, let's see. The lifespan I want to be pretty low. Why don't we start at like 10 frames? And then in the style and the fade, I want them to be just like always fading out. that's already, well, maybe I can have a little less lifespan. What if we just set it to 5? All right. Yes, this is me using the laser, the core of the thing, for all the glow and stuff, and just using that as so in the region where it's spawning the particles from, I just am using a bitmap, and that you can drag any other input into that. So I think in the controls, velocity, bring out the velocity. Why don't we just turn it up all the way, and then we can play around later. Then in the angle variance, is it angle variance or angle Z variance? No, it's angle variance. I'm going to move that to 360. So now they are just shooting off everywhere, which is chaos. But let's see, I'm going to add a P directional force. That's too, okay, 1 is definitely too fast for this. Okay, now we got something. That's cool. I'm gonna add some P turbulence, just because I feel like that's obligatory when it comes to particle stuff. And since, okay, this is cool. Now it's hard to see, so what I'll try is I'll change the type to align. Let's see. Size velocity, I think 0.1. Is that what I want? Then bring the size to 1. Hard, yeah, it's hard to see. I'm trying to fix that. So the rotation, I'm going to change to rotation relative to motion. Okay, now we can see a little better. I'm going to turn off the fade. Hopefully that should. We got some sparks. That's cool. Let's be larger. All right. Let's see. So, oh yeah, it definitely needs to be. Maybe. See, the settings for the particles are different with 2D and 3D, I think. So I think when I do it in 3D, 0.1 usually works. Maybe it was 0.5. Let's see. I'm basing how large they need to be off of like that one corridor video where they were talking about how like the distance between one frame and the other should be like it shouldn't overlap too much. Let's see. That does look better. That does look better. What are we making? We are making a proton stream from Ghostbusters. All right. I mean, let's see. So I think what I want to do is on the sides of our life, I'm going to have them start really small. And then they'll kind of grow out to be... Do I want them to... No, I don't want them to decrease in size over time. Maybe we could bring up the fade a little bit so it looks a little bit more of a fall off. That looks pretty fun. Particles are so satisfying. All right, so the question is this good or do we want more? I feel like this is fine for now because they're supposed to be just like a complementary thing. Like it's not like Doctor Strange stuff where like the sparks are the whole thing. This is just kind of to show, oh, this is really hot. So let's see, frame. People are saying to use the glow in the settings in the thing. I'm not seeing a difference when I turn that on. The tracked beam. See, the thing, if I use the tracked beam as the input, so like on this scene, it's not too big of a detail, but like if it's tracked and there's a lot of camera movement, the particles won't be moving with the camera. So I'm going to connect them to the track afterwards, after the fact. So like, let's see, I'll just copy all these. Connect this. So now it should be attached to, so like, see, the beam all starts. Oops, let me take a look at this. So the beam all starts here, and now we have all the sparks here coming from it. Now we can look at the glow density, and then I will also merge that. Obviously set that screen. All right, that looks like too much. Like it's a little too chaotic. Although looking at this real quick, I wonder if we should have the particles like shooting out, like if we should add another directional force to make them like be moving forward. Let me try that. So P directional force, and let's see, I think if I set the direction as 0, that should be forward. Maybe we have something. I mean, it's not super strong. I can try making it stronger, but I don't want it to be like too noticeable. That looks not bad. You have to activate blur for the, so like this and then this. Oh, I see. Okay, so that works. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not sure what the appeal of doing that in the blur, in the particle render is, instead of just doing those after the fact. I feel like it gives more control, but could just be me. So I think there's a jump there. Is there a jump there? Alright, so let's take a look at this with everything else. Alright. My gut is telling me that this is, let's see how it looks with everything else, because that's the more important thing. Yeah. They look a little strong. First of all, my orange isn't really showing off here. So yeah, see, like, oh, that's why, because the color corrector is taking out a lot of that blue. That's better. It can clean it. Ah, that makes sense. Is there a way to render below 24 FPS without using the stop motion effect? I think for that, if you wanted to, so like if I wanted to render, I don't know, if for some reason, some unholy reason I wanted to render in 7 frames per second, I would create a new timeline. I would uncheck use project settings, and then the format, I can change the, looks like 16 is the lowest it'll let you go unless there's a custom. It doesn't look like it's custom. So I guess you can't do 7 frames per second as my random example, but I don't know why you ever would want to. So yeah, it looks like 16, but that's how you would get a different frame rate. Cancel, I don't want that. Alright. Maybe this is just me. The particles feel like a lot. Like it feels like there are a lot of sparks. Feels a little overpowering. So, first off, I'm gonna try and turn off the glow and see if I can get a viewport playback. Yeah, that looks like a lot. I wonder if I should make there be less sparks. 12 frames per second. Okay, so if you're looking for 12 frames per second, then you could just have it be 24 frames per second and then add a stop motion. Now that should be same as 12 frames per second. Alright, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn down the particles to maybe the default 10. So the sparks will be kind of like a... Okay, that looks... So it's more of a random thing, like it's not constantly sparking, but there, you know, there are a couple showing up. Yeah, I don't know how well this is showing up on stream because of... I mean, particles are already pretty small, so I guess one thing I can do is I can bring up the gain all the way, so now you can... Hopefully that shows up a little bit better what's going on. I'll turn that on because, like, in the viewport that's too strong, but I don't know if that makes it a little better on the stream. Alright, so I think I will try that. Turn that off. And see how that, if that looks a little better. Rendering slow, but I'm liking what I'm seeing. So let's turn the glows on. All right, so let's see. Do they need? Problem is I didn't blur the other stuff. Do they need a blur? They probably do. When in doubt, assume it needs a blur. Let's see, I want to do the blur before the sharpen. Why don't I set that to, let's see, 0.5. Cache ain't caching. Yep, that, it does do that from time to time. Alright. I wonder if I, in the intensity, didn't have them be quite so gain, like bring down the gain a little bit, so it's a little bit more no, that makes them look, problem is with the screen that makes them like transparent, but maybe if I bring down the saturation, that makes it a little bit less in your face, you know, it's just kind of there. Take a look at this on its own. I want it to be, yeah, I want them to be more orange. That looks, oh, that looks better. Okay, that's what we were missing. Heat distortion. That is a good idea. All right, so how would we? Okay, honestly, if we're like tweaking things, improving things, get it just right, I feel like we got to look at this lightning again. I'm not feeling this lightning. Problem is, what about it am I not? I think our fast noise might be moving too fast. We do something like 20. That feels a little bit more manageable. Now the lightning's jumping around a lot, but it's lightning. I want it to be pretty chaotic. I feel like, does it need? Alright, why don't I bring up that turbulence, the amplitude turbulence in both of them. Problem is, like, they're all on the same like side. Do you notice that? Maybe it does need more amplitude. Like now it's a little bit more random, hopefully, at least on what side of the, yeah, that feels better. That feels better. What were we doing? Heat distortion. Heat distortion is what we were doing. All right, so ooh, I'm getting distracted again, but I think I got an idea for the lightning. because it feels, right now it feels too long for me. So what we do, so we have these, we can have these, how about we just have one be really long? And then, all right, I'm gonna merge this over thing temporarily so we can see it. Then what I'll do is I'll have, why don't I split it into thirds? So I have the one going down everything. Then I'll have one over here. Then I'll have one maybe from here to here, so it's not like step, step, step. Now it's a little bit, they're a little bit closer together, so that, okay, that might be it. Production Crate does have some Ghostbuster like beam assets, but you are right about reference. Like that, ideally we should be doing this with reference, but we are, this is a don't do this at home type stream. Wait, I don't want that merge. Okay, that's the only thing with that is now we got to make sure that they're not, since they're closer to the beam, we want to make sure they're not overpowering it. That would be a good way to start. Maybe like, yeah. Yeah, okay, I like that. I like that. Now we'll finally get to the heat distortion. We'll get there eventually. Alright, so just let me check, do I do have a plugin for that. Take a look at that. Ooh. I can already tell this is going to be a slow one. Alright, so let's see. Heat noise. Okay, heat noise. Alright, so I definitely want this to be smaller. Maybe more so. Let's try 40. Yes. And blur noise. Blur noise. I want to look at the blur noise. I will also make that bigger. Maybe not as big. Maybe something like this. It's a little slow. A little slow. I don't know if I've ever used this plugin, like I downloaded it, because every once in a while I just go through Reactor like, oh, that looks cool, that looks cool, and then I don't end up using most of them, but it doesn't matter. That's what it's for. All right, now what is this input? Distortion image. What is the? All right, so why don't we try using? Can we see that? There we go. Ooh, that's bright. See if we can, first off, let's see if the image is the, yes, it does look like that is the map for that. Alright, now we got some heat blur. What I create is, see, I don't have Discord. That's the thing. Maybe I'll get it one of these days, but I don't have it at the moment. So Sapphire. I do not have Sapphire plugins, unfortunately. That would be cool though. Yeah, this is looking pretty nice. Now, I can guarantee you that this is going to take like 4 times as long to render, but we're not going anywhere. So while this is rendering, do we want to keep tweaking this shot until it's as good as it can get, or do we want to try a different shot? What do you guys think? Four times longer, 4 times. Exactly. It's basic math right there. What are the specifications? I don't actually know what my specs are. I need to look that up because people keep asking me that. I'm like, I don't know what, because like I'm not like, I know how to use DaVinci and stuff, but like I'm not a computery person. So like when people ask about technical stuff like that, I really don't know. Have I been playing around with Relight for lighting CG stuff? I wish. I'm still on the free version. I don't have the studio, but I've been eyeing it. Like it's one of those studio features that like I've been like, oh, like that would be so cool. I bet like the one that immediately comes to mind is like lightsaber footage, because like, you know, you hold up. I mean, it would be better if you just have a light on set, but you can get like really close to stuff like that, get really close to the face or eyes, places where you couldn't really put a light practically. So like that would be really cool. Now there are a lot of pro features that I just like. Like the analog damage, that looks really nice. I have a tutorial for VHS effect. I think it looks pretty good. Like but that was because the relight is not relight. Analog damage isn't in the free version. Oh, and also the what's it called? There is a deflicker node, because so I've been playing around with Blender, but so you can have Eevee or Cycles. Eevee's real time, but it doesn't look as good. And then you have Cycles, which is realistic, but it takes forever to render. So what I've been doing is I've been just like keeping the samples like super like crazy low on Cycles, and then I'll do the denoising, which ends up looking like fairly decent. Problem is there's a ton of flicker, but I found out that DaVinci's deflicker, if you add that to it, like it becomes usable. Like it looks really good. Problem is it's a studio version, so I want to upgrade eventually. I just haven't. And it's like, I mean, compared to Adobe, which is the subscription thing, like the one-time price is really good. Cameras are coming. I've heard that. I also don't have the cameras or the money for the cameras. Okay, I feel all these comments about computers rendering slowly, because so the computer I started using this making tutorials with was it was basically a potato. It was pretty bad, but I was still able to get pretty good stuff out of it. You just have to know how to optimize and how to be patient with renders and crashes and stuff. Eventually I just got a feel for what nodes would take the most of my thing, or I guess RAM or whatever. But you can also, like, in Fusion, you can bring down the quality using proxies to like half, quarter, 1/8. Like there are ways to do it. Have ever thought about using Adobe products? I not really. So I've never used After Effects, because again, DaVinci is free and you can do, in my experience, so just kind of a background, I've watched a ton of After Effects tutorials, and in my experience, please, like pretty much everything you can do in After Effects, I found you can pretty much do in Resolve. There are a couple things that like there aren't one-to-one things for. I mean, like there's the puppet pin tools, which the Warper might be like that, but that's a studio thing, so I haven't played around with it. Although I'm finding out that the grid warp tool is actually, like, it can do more than I thought it could. And then I haven't found anything that's exactly like the vector blur in After Effects. You can get similar things with an erode dilate, because the vector blur in DaVinci is not the same as vector blur in After Effects. Because I tried, I was watching, I don't know what tutorial was calling for it, but I tried to use it and they do completely different things. I'm not sure what, like, I haven't found out what the DaVinci vector blur does. Because, like, it does something. Like, you can clearly see it does something, but, like, I'm not sure what the use case for it is. If anyone knows, I would be quite interested in knowing. Yeah, I mean, the Warper tool is in the studio version, and it looks like it's similar to the Puppet tool. I would love... Have I tried Lebug's Ring? I don't know what that is. Oops. Tutorial. Oh, is that the Pirates of Confusion ones? I don't think I've seen that one specifically, but his tutorials are great. Let's see. Okay, this is looking pretty nice if you ask me. I like those sparks. I think they do add. The heat blur is a little intense. Might need a little TLC, but that's pretty good. That's pretty nice looking thing right there, in my humble opinion. No, yeah, his Pirates of Confusion are great, because there really isn't a ton of like in-depth like expert videos on Fusion. They're like, I wouldn't say any of my stuff is like, I'm intermediate at most with my things, but like there's that guy, and there's also Milo Labs. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but he has some good stuff. I would say I am fairly satisfied with how this is turning out. So let's see, do we want to try something else? Let me see if there's any suggestions. Time slipping. I was afraid someone was gonna ask that. So I put out a poll saying whether I should do the time, like the time portal from Loki, or the time slipping thing. Then the poll was like 50-50, so I just went with the time door because I was happy with how that one was turning out. But so on the day that I filmed the footage for that one, for the Loki time door, I also filmed a plate for the I'm blanking out on what it's called. The time slipping. That's what it's called. Time slipping. I hit the microphone right there. The time slipping effect. But I played around with it. I couldn't really get it to a point where I was super happy with it. We can try and see if we can get it, because I was able to find a way to make like the stringy looking things, and I was able to like track it to the hands and all this. The problem is I couldn't get it to look like 3D, like look like the skin thing it is, like it, because like for an effect like that, ideally, and probably what they did is like you would have that in 3D, like you would have a 3D digidouble of whoever the actor is, and then you would like simulate them between that. But if I wanted to do that in DaVinci, I don't know how far you can get it to look without it looking little fake. I mean, it's obviously fake, but to a point where it actually looks good. But it never hurts to try. Where do I have it? I have it here. Alright, so is though, did I shoot this in 4K? Properties. Yes, this is 4K footage. Okay, so computer might explode for this. It is quite possible, but we will keep trudging on until we are forced to stop. Here we go. All right, so this is my sister. Let me just. All right, so let's see. I want one where she's like, okay, that one's pretty good. So I want here. Right, so probably only till maybe here. So I'll bring that in. And then I want another one where she's doing a different movement. Okay, we got something there. Now this is the exciting content you came here to see, scrubbing through footage. Alright. And let's see, I think I want maybe one more. Let's see. Okay, there's that one. That's not bad, with the arms going out. Actually, it's coming from be over here. So maybe like here. Okay, and then I would have shot a clean play with this, I presume. I hope. There we go. All right. Okay. Whoops. I don't want all that. I just want a little bit of it. Here we go. Okay. Now we're moving. Alright, so take the ones I want. Alright, so move this. Yeah, this is being slow. No, I still have trouble with 4K footage. My computer does not like it. Not one bit. Yeah, I'm gonna be fully honest. This might not work for stream just because this is using up a lot of computer, and I mean, I don't know how well the stream has been. It says it has good connection, but I don't know. Maybe let's try something different. That effect is still cursed. I think we'll just save that for another time. Any other suggestions? I mean, if we don't have anything else, I do always have a plan B, which is the something being caught by the beam. There's an idea. Let's see. I tried this a while ago. Did it? I don't remember if it worked or not. Let's see. So let's say I want the Da Vinci logo. What was the name of the music? It is called Crazy. It's on the YouTube audio library. Who is it by? I don't remember. So let's say I want the Da Vinci logo to be caught in our ghost trap. Alright, I will set the background to 9. Alright, so I did this a while ago. How did I do it? I had a way. So the question is, you have to get something wrapping around it. Okay. So I guess the best place to start is take a background and a polygon. And I'll just have the color be an orange thing. So then, oops. Let's say I want the beam to be, let's say I want it to be going something like this. Right, so let's see. I just select all these and make them smooth, then I can something like that. It's not bad. Okay, so what we want is, well, let me merge that on top. Oops, I don't want the soft edge. Yeah, I know. Production Crate does have those. And that is probably what I would use if I had to do it. But the fun is figuring out how we can make it for ourselves. Well, thank you, Oliver. I had a lot of fun doing the Scooby-Doo thing. Alright, so I think I want it to be more of a yellow color. Alright, so we want a way to make this look like it's wrapping around the thing. So, what do I want? Okay, so I want these to be moving, obviously, because it's, a ghost trap, it's moving around. So the question is, we could animate them, just like, we have a keyframe on this frame, then on another frame we move them up, move it down, something like this, and that'll automatically animate. We could do that, but that is tedious. And what are we doing if we aren't needlessly automating things? So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna take these are the ones I want to be moving, and then I think Control B, I want Shift P. Boom, now they are all parented. So now I can modify this with a perturb, and that is going to be far too strong by default. So let's bring down the X scale and the Y scale all the way, and then just slightly, maybe even less, let's keep it really subtle. But you know what, the Y one we can probably do. Again, this depends on the shape, because this is a square, so it works more. I want more speed, I like that. Do I need more wobble, or? Actually, I think this should be, I like the default. Alright, now, I am take a look at. So now I can do that for the other ones. I'm going to modify this one with another perturb. Bring down the X scale and the Y scale. Keep the Y scale small. Keep the X scale maybe a little tiny bit. And then bring up the speed. Boom. Now we got 2. I will just do this with modify width. You don't want to connect them to the same perturb because obviously then they'll be moving at the same time and we want them to all be kind of independent. Alright, so I think I'll bring up the speed on this one just so it's not moving so much in sync. Maybe I'll reseed it. Recommendations for running professional motion graphics. For motion graphics, there are a lot of good channels for Fusion with motion graphics. There's I mean, Jake Whip has a lot of good motion graphic stuff, and then there's Patrick Sterling. He has a lot of. Those are the two that come to mind for motion graphics. Oh, there's also oh, why am I forgetting his name? It's something. Let's see. It's something Osborne, I think. Ryan Osborne, that's his name. He's got some good stuff too. All right, where was I? Oh yes, the final perturb. Modify with perturb. Down the X scale, Y scale, something like that. Oh yeah, Casey Ferris. Obviously, how can you forget Casey Ferris? Okay. I think I'm gonna have to bring up the wobble on some of these because they're looking a little too, you know. Maybe I'll bring up the speed, yeah. Alright, that's looking nice and chaotic. Thing is, we want it to be looking like it's only on 1. So, if I remember this correctly, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy and paste this polygon. I'm going to change it to subtract. So that should take everything away. But if I move the position, now we can, and let's see, maybe I want that's what I want. I want minimum. So now we have this. So it's not perfect. And it's not like 110%. Oops, maybe I don't want minimum, maybe I want subtract. Maximum. Like this. Then I think one more. So obviously this is not perfect, so I'm gonna make this restart thing over here. So now we've got some parts covering up some parts are not. Now obviously this is a little what's the word I'm looking for? Rough around the edges. That's it. So I think I'll bring down the length. Oops. Let's bring down the length on this first one. So it's not then let's see. Bring up the position, bring down the length. this is my very janky method for it, but now we've got these that look like they're wrapping around this thing. It's not perfect. I think there are a couple of times where they cross over the thing, but you can just, with minimal keyframes, adjust that. Okay. It's still not super chaotic though. You don't have to apologize. This is the fun part of stream, just going down rabbit holes like this. Alright. Let's see. It's still not chaotic enough. I think so. Is this making copies? This is making copies of the perturbs. So if I make a change in one, I have to make a change in all of them. That is fun. I will have to. Okay, so I don't really want to mess with that. I guess I could add a displace, then bring down a fast noise, and I'll have to do this on this one too, but I'll just do it in this one for now. Then bring it to X and Y because I only want it to be doing this. Y. Make an instance so all of our changes, and then I can just bring out the rate. So that's a little bit, got a little bit more of that chaos. So now the thing is, with the lightning, we can't make the lightning the same way we did the other one because, you know, it's looping around. So I think what I will do, so I'll have this. So what I'll do is I'll plug this into a blue background. I want it to be thinner, so I think I'm going to add an erode dilate. Change it to, I think, circle. Make them thinner. Now, you can just copy this. Now this one, I want to bring up the scale. So, actually, I think that should be fine. Bring up the detail a lot. Bring down the contrast. Now we got a thing, and I actually think I will. So now it's a little bit different than that. Obviously, we need some glows. Ooh, you know, I think I will have this be white, and then I will add the blue in the glow itself. It'll look a little bit better. Yeah, there we go. TNT. Honestly, all the stuff I do in the Tintensity, you could just do in a color corrector, but I like the Tintensity. I think it gives the better. It's not even that much of a different result. It's just more convenient. Looking for X glow because this needs a glow. It is kind of funny that this became a Ghostbusters themed stream, but there's not. I mean, there was a Ghostbusters movie that came out recently. Ooh, that is a little bit much. Maybe if I bring down the gain a little bit. There we go. So this. That look? That is bright, but it is better. That is more of what we're looking for. Oh yeah, that's That's nice. It's a little bit. Let's see. If I bring it down. No, I don't want to. First off, why is this not on screen? This should be. I mean, these should both be on screen. Honestly, it looks. That kind of fixes the problem. Oh, whoops. If you can believe it, we forgot to add glow over here. Silly me, silly me. Boom. This will be screen. Ah, so here's the thing though. First off, we need to be clipping all of these, clipping white. I should have been doing that on the other one too, because these are like outrageously high numbers for our thing. Does that make it better? Actually, it's not bad. Yeah, alright, it's not terrible. So, take a look at that. What is the Tintensity node? It is, so it's a plugin that is for, it's mostly for like coloring energy effects and things like that. So like if you have like, if you get a shockwave asset or an energy asset, usually like from a stock website or something, normally they're like in black and white, or if you want to change the color, you could do it in a color corrector, but it's just easier and a little bit more convenient to do it in Tintensity. But I mean, it's a free plugin, so like there's no loss in getting it. Although it's funny because I use Reactor plugins all the time because they're free and they're awesome, but like I understand people who don't get them, because like before I downloaded them, I was like, I'm not gonna download another plugin. Like that's too much work for this thing. That like I just want to follow this one tutorial. I don't want to download a whole bunch of other stuff. But it is not natively in DaVinci. It's a Reactor plugin. Obviously, we didn't add all of the sparks and things. This is probably a little bit more reminiscent of what the original looks like, the original Proton streams. This is a little bit closer to like a modern thing, because we have the orange is a little bit more of a deep orange, and the blue is a little bit leaning more towards purplish, whereas this one, it still has that, but it's a little bit more toned back. Yeah, that's pretty fun. Now, I would definitely recommend getting Reactor. Again, it's free, so you're literally losing nothing. I mean, that may be computer space. I guess it takes up that, but a lot of, again, the specifically like X-Glow, like the glow, all the glows I'm using this come from Reactor. Like a lot of these, like I just use in my workflow without thinking about it. Maybe I should do like a top 5 Reactor plugins or something like that. That could be fun. All right. I'm kind of surprised with how responsive everything's been, because I had no idea how intensive streaming and doing some fairly intense effects. I mean, specifically we got a lot of glows, a lot of particles, but those can be pretty computationally expensive. But so far, at least on my end, things have been running pretty smoothly. I mean, it was chugging a bit with 4K footage, but it always does that, so it's not too surprising or anything. Look on. Oh, we got time. Flicker on the beam. So like on the beams, like the brightness. Maybe. That could be worth checking out. Let's try that. So, let's see. How I would do that is, alright, first of all, we're going to have to turn off these glows so that we can do anything. So, I'm going to add a brightness contrast. Actually, I will need the glows. That's unfortunate for my computer. So, with the gamma, if I bring that up, I mean, if I bring it too far, it starts to break. But if we have it pretty no, oh dear. Here we are. Oops. I guess I will not be pre-dividing post multiply. So what I'll do is I'll just modify this with another perturb. So now I'll turn off the glow. You know what I'll do, just to keep this running to a point where I can actually see, is I will just use a soft glow and then use that to see what this is doing. Far up and down is it going? It's not going too bad. I think I can live with that. So I think I will definitely want some wobble, and I think I want some speed. There we go. That looks pretty good. So then I'll just take my other stuff. I think I'm also gonna why is it moving up there? I feel like it shouldn't be. So if I heat mask. Oh, channel luminance. There we go. That's what I was missing. Whoops. We probably want some glow. Yeah, the reactor node I used on that does help a lot with that effect. It might be possible to do with the normal trails. No, I think it's the trails node that's in DaVinci. The thing is, it doesn't give the mid between frame controls. I guess if you wanted to, you could so like in that you have the transform and then you have the motion blur set at double. If you want to fill in the holes, you could bring the motion blur like beyond double, something like, I don't know, yeah, like triple or something like that. But you'd have to crank up the quality in the motion blur, which is already adding a lot of render time. I am pretty happy with that tutorial though. That was one of those effects that I was like eyeing for a while. Like I know it's possible in Resolve. I just can't figure out how to do it. So that was a satisfying one to finally figure out. Minimum spec. I am not sure what that means. All right, let's see. Yeah, I like that. I like that flicker. That looks nice. Oh, specs. That makes a lot of sense. I don't know. I think it says on Blackmagic website like what the minimum requirements for DaVinci Resolve are. So like, let's see. Here's minimum requirements. All right. So you need at least Windows 10 or later, 16 gigabytes of system memory. Although actually, when I started this channel, my computer only had, I think, 8 gigabytes. So you can do it on lower end stuff. It'll just won't run as fast. All right, so. It's slow, which is to be expected. I feel like maybe ideally we could make the speed change a little bit faster, but that's a small change to make, and it would take a while to re-render. So I'm not gonna worry too much about that. This is the other thing that's realistic about making these effects, is pretty much half of making them is just sitting waiting for them to render to a point where you can actually see them. Because when I was making the Scooby-Doo video, one of the shots, the chase scene, that one took forever to render. Like that like took, I don't know, like an hour to like just cache with the thing, because it was pretty heavy. And that's not even with the VHS effect, because I rendered them out without the VHS and then added that on later, because otherwise it would just take absolutely forever. Like at one point when I hit render on one of the shots, the like time estimate was like going up to like days it was gonna take to render. It did not end up taking that long. It always does. Like it always like jumps to like, this will take 5 years to render, and then it goes back down to a few minutes. But that was fun. Ever thought about a Rick and Morty portal? I have not actually, but I would have to check that out. I have not seen Rick and Morty. Yeah, 4K footage is it's tough to work with. I normally try to do 1080p. Sometimes if like like if I'm downloading stock footage, a lot of times that'll come in as 4K, but that I can usually like just re-render it as HD, so that saves some space, especially like if I'm doing it for a tutorial, because like if I'm making it for a tutorial, it has to look like it's running smoothly. So like a lot of these tutorials, like they're I don't think any of my tutorials are over 20 minutes long, because you know I cut them down, but a lot of them end up like, I think the recording for the Ghost Rider one, that one was like 40 minutes long, and it's like a 15-minute long video. That's valid. Yeah, it's a valid thing. I can't speak for everyone, but you might be surprised with how much you can do, because again, my last computer was not great, but you can still make some pretty impressive stuff. It is not limited to the hardware that you have. Just takes a little bit more elbow grease. Yeah, re-rendering does help a lot with things like that. Although I actually haven't used the YouTube format to render for my YouTube videos. I should maybe consider that, because I'm just using custom settings, which kind of came back to get me, because for, I think it was the cartoon rigging tutorial, I accidentally rendered it without audio, because I thought the audio, like render with audio button, would be on by default, but apparently not for that one video. So I had to re-render that. And it was bad because I had already like scheduled the video to come out. Like I had uploaded the audioless one, not realizing it. So I had to go before it came out and switch them out. So that was fun, but it worked out. I also, my last video, the animation compositing one, that one I scheduled to come out like at 8 in the morning, but I scheduled it at midnight, so it was scheduled to come out the next day instead of the day I was hoping it. So I woke up expecting it to already be out and already have a few views, but like, oh, it hasn't come out yet for another day. Thank you, Ryan Lee. I'm glad people have been enjoying the tutorials, because the reason I started this channel is because, like I said, I watched a lot of After Effects tutorials, and I realized that like you can do all of this in DaVinci, but like there wasn't, especially when I started the channel, there was not really anyone talking about how to do them. Because I mean, there have been a lot more Fusion VFX channels in the past few years, which is awesome. But when I started out, there were a few things for like motion graphics and like transitions. That was most of what you could find for DaVinci. Which was a shame, because like Fusion, I mean, like they've used Fusion for compositing on movies. There's like a whole list on Wikipedia of a lot of like big name movies, like Doctor Strange. I think maybe one of the Avengers movies. Spider-Man 3. Like there are a lot of, it's a capable program. Maybe not as much as Nuke. I mean, Nuke's the industry standard, but for a free /affordable software, it can do a lot. All right, this is almost done, and it looks pretty good. Age of Ultron, thank you. Oh yeah, and Avatar, the first one, used Fusion. So like, it can you can do a lot with it. Especially like if you couple like Fusion with Blender, like I feel like that's like the perfect free VFX way to do things. Exactly. The fact that the free version is so like as capable as it is, like, I mean, like, even if the free version could do half of what the pro version does, that's still pretty capable. But like it's probably closer to like, I don't know, maybe 80 or 90% of what the pro version can do. And like you said, like there are workarounds for pretty much everything. I don't think it's 100% everything. I mean, Magic Mask, there are things like, there are websites like Runway and stuff like that. Although Runway isn't free anymore. I think they have like 3 free ones. I mean, I haven't used it in a while because once I heard it wasn't free, I was scared to use it because I'm like, oh, I got to save it up for when I really need it. That's true. DaVinci has been used for, I mean, DaVinci used to be like the color grading standard software for years. Because, I mean, originally, that was all DaVinci did. It was just color grading. And then Fusion was its own company. And then I think Blackmagic bought the company or bought Fusion, something like that. And so then they integrated it. But, no, yeah, color grading is one of those things. Like, a lot of people are scared of Fusion and intimidated by it. I'm like that with the color page. Like I'm scared to touch it. Like I never go in there except like, I don't know, some of my videos, like I need to make things black and white for a joke or something like that. So I'll do that, but I basically never go in the color tab. No, yeah, I do. I also wish there were more Fusion stuff. I was very excited when I saw that tutorial because it was out of nowhere, but from a very big thing. Recommendation on how to be better using DaVinci Resolve. Learn cool things like you teach. I misread that. So I can't like claim like this is the one way to learn DaVinci, but how I learned what I learned is basically I watched some Fusion tutorials. And like I said, about like how to make transitions and stuff like that. So like I learned how to use Fusion, like how to add nodes, how to bring up the select tool menu, how to move around, like the basics, like mechanical stuff, like how to do anything in Fusion. But then at that time there weren't a lot of VFX videos for Fusion. So then what I did is one day I got recommended, I think it was a Film Riot. It was their Quicksilver tutorial, and it didn't say After Effects tutorial or anything on it. It just said like how to make the Quicksilver effect. So I was interested and I watched it, and I mean it was for After Effects, it wasn't for Fusion, but I watched it and I realized all the things that they're doing in After Effects, you can do all those things in DaVinci. So I tried it out, making that effect, and so once I realized you could do things from After Effects in Fusion, I just started watching like tons of After Effects VFX things. So like I would watch Film Riot, Production Crate, Film Learning, like a lot of just tons of VFX tutorials, and that taught me like how to do VFX. Like that taught me a lot of VFX theory, because like most of the stuff like that, like theory, doesn't matter what program you're using. So that really helped me to not think about it as like, what buttons do I need to push? Like, oh, I need to add this node, then I need to add a blur node, then I need to add it helped me think about it more as like what steps you need to take. Like, okay, so they're cutting out the subject, then they're moving it, then they're blurring it. And I think that helped me a lot to actually learn how to do it and how to do it on my own, like not just following a tutorial step by step. Once you learn like the idea of what you're doing, instead of just how to do it, then you can like use that for more things. Like if I just watch a video on, I don't know, how to make a Doctor Strange, like the portal, if I just watch that tutorial and just like follow it step by step, then I've learned how to make a Doctor Strange portal, but I don't know how to do anything else. But if you learn like the idea behind the thought process behind it, how to think like a VFX artist, then I can make other effects using that knowledge. So I think it's more, I mean, it's kind of like, you know, teach a man to fish, give a man a fish type thing. So that's how I learned what I know. And it's what I try to do with this channel. I don't know if I always do it great, but I try to explain why I'm doing what I'm doing. How to make a force ghost. That should not be too hard, actually. You can probably do that real quick. Here's Casey Ferris. That is high compliments to be put on the same page as Casey Ferris. Like that is high compliment, because he's like the DaVinci Resolve guy. Like when he saw one of my video and commented on one of those, like I can quit right now. Like I've already made it. Excuse me. All right, so Force Ghost. So let us find a suitable background, something Star Wars-y. I think I have one on my computer. Here we go. And then I just need some green screen footage. So pretend that this green screen footage is me dressed up like someone dressed up like a Jedi. I don't have any footage of that, but you just need any green screen footage. And actually, before I do this, I'm going to search for some reference. I'm going to do this on the other screen. I don't know if I can show this on the screen without getting taken down, but I will take a take a look at that. All right, Force Ghost. So reference is really important when you're making VFX. Okay, looking at. All right. So you want some green screen footage. Just for the memes, I'm gonna do this. All right. So let's see. Going to cut this down. Go into Fusion. I do this just for fun. Like, I have not done this professionally yet. I hope to do it professionally. This is what I want to do. It's what I'm going to be studying in college, but I have not as of yet done it professionally. All right, so this one is my ghost, and this one is my background. I have to force myself to be organized with things like this just because I am not organized by nature. All right, so Delta Keyer. Obviously, the key is going to be pretty easy with this. Let's see, there we go. Make sure it's all good. Okay, so Actually, we got a little bit of an edge. Take care of that. There we go. Beautiful. This is production worthy stuff right here. All right. So, looking at the Star Wars footage, what I'm seeing is they're blue, obviously. They're transparent, slightly, and we've got a little bit of a outline around them. All right, so how are we gonna do this? So I would do. So I'm looking at it. It doesn't actually look. Let's see, is it? I'm trying to figure out if it would be like a screen blending mode, or if this is something that you would just lower the opacity for. Oops. Don't copyright strike me. Alright. So, I think I'm gonna try. Let's see what screen looks like. That looks pretty good, actually. Okay, so we have him transparent, but as of right now, he is not blue. That is a problem. So I'm going to add a color corrector. Is that a question, or so the apply mode is this. The apply mode changes how the one image is put on top of the other. So with screen, everything that's black is transparent and everything that's lighter is not. The opposite of of screen is multiply. Everything that's dark is solid, and everything that is lighter is see-through. Thanks, screen. And I am going to bring down the blend a little bit. Yeah, it's like blend modes in Photoshop or After Effects. It's just a different name for it because they decided that would be fun. All right. Let's see. I want to be pre-dividing, post-multiplying. So I'm going to bring up the lift. Oh, so it wasn't a question. Gotcha. So I'm bringing up the lift a little bit because in the thing there, black doesn't seem to be fully black, and then I'm giving it a little bit of a blue tint. All right. So now I'm looking at this. I feel like maybe I need to blur it a little bit. Oops, too much. There we go. All right. So you got this. Now we need to add the outline around them. So there are different ways to get an outline. I think the one I'm going to do is, under the effects, I'm going to go to, it's templates, fusion. Now I've got a couple of tools that you can't get by doing shift space for some reason. Where is it? Tools, here we go. Edge control. All right, so I'm going to plug my thing into that. Now we have the edge isolated. I think what I want to do is I'm going to blur it, then going to have that go into the mask of a fast noise. Bring up the scale. Don't want high contrast, but I want it to be not that bright. I think I'm actually going to do this before the color corrector so that it can be. Whoa. Oh. Can we be, is there no clip black and white in the color corrector? Huh. Okay, so we'll end this fast noise. I'm going to change it to gradient. Boom. Now we should have no more nasty bonus. So I want it to be a little bit brighter. And I can just bring up the seethe rate a little bit because there's a little bit of that. Looks a little bit strong though, so I wonder if I bring the white to more of a gray. I think it needs to be a little bit more blurred. Less contrast. It's subtle. I'll keep it subtle. Yeah, so should we add a glow? I don't know if it's necessarily there in the original, but I think I might add one just because it'll look cool. I think this is soft glow. Keep it pretty big. Bring the threshold a little bit. And I can bring down the gain so it's subtle. Now we have our Force Ghost. There we go. That was our very quick detour. And actually, from here, it's really not that big of a leap to go to a hologram. So what I would do for that is I would probably get rid of this edge thing we did. I would, let's see, I think from this I would add some scan lines. Add a second electricity. Mayhaps. Alright, so. Yeah, adding the scan lines definitely does a lot. But let's say I want to have it look like he's coming from somewhere. So, let's see, how would I do that? I think what I would do is I would add a, would that be a directional blur? I think so. To be not centered, radial. Okay. Can probably see where I'm going with this. I will, let's see. I could try merging this before the color corrector. Then would you screen that? Then I would, oh no wait, that brings down the, then I just bring it down. I don't want it to be too visible, so you could just, something, you know, like that. Honestly, I can't tell. Do I want to be able to see the lines through it? It looks a little like I'm losing, like it's kind of hard to see him, you know what I'm saying? There's also, like, if I wanted it to come from here, I feel like I would have to make it sound like -2, maybe even -3. Now it actually, that's probably just the right amount of being able to see them, but it's not like overbearing. So yeah, -3 seems to be a good number. So if I wanted it to come like, I don't know, look like it's coming out of that light over there. Boom. And I think I want a little bit more soft glow on this. I'll make it more blue. I'll make all this more blue. Maybe bring up the gain. It can be brighter. There we go. If we wanted, though, we can make him a little bit glitchy. We can add a displace. Bring it down. Nope, I don't want a background. I want a fast noise. Fast noise is so many different things you can do with a fast noise. Alright, I'm going to bring up the contrast. I'm going to bring down the brightness. Alright, gradient. I'm going to bring up the seethe rate. I want it even more. Alright, let's see. Problem is, this is going to be a little bit too much. Yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead. Oh, that looks a little weird. Oh, well, that's because I want this. I'm going to take this 2.5, and this one will be at 5. Boom. You got a little glitch thing. It's a little bit, let's see, I'm not sure how. Maybe I'll bring up, what do I bring up? Is that too glitchy? Is the question. I mean, the things in Star Wars are pretty glitchy, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. It's been a little bit of a minute. Yeah, I think that. So, thank you. I mean, it wasn't in After Effects, it was in DaVinci, but I'm glad you enjoyed it. Now, one thing is, if I add a blur, now it's not completely cutting it, it's just moving it, and the more blurred it is. So I still want to see a little bit of that, yeah. So you can tell, like, oh, it's just being distorted. And there we go. It's pretty fun, pretty fun. And the nice thing is, no, yeah, you're good, you're good. Nice thing is, I can replace this with any other green screen footage I may have. So let's see. I filmed a bunch of green screen footage a while ago. Or I guess here's some stock footage. Is this Delta Kier again? Let's bring in the highs, bring down the low. I feel like oops, what was I looking for? There's some setting I used to do. Oh wait, and the matte, I want the replacement to be there. That makes it a lot. So now I can, instead of our Blue McGuire, which I mean we will all miss very dearly, now we have, ooh, it's a little bit bright, so I can bring down the gain a lift. It's already pretty bright. Why is that so bright? Okay, so let's see. There we go. I do want this to be blue though. What would displacing the background with the hologram look like? That is a good question. We could, alright, let's add a displace. I don't want the glow to be displacing it. Alright, I like to go X and Y. Just this one. X, Y, so I'll bring up the X. Oops. I want the X and the Y then. Yeah. X a little bit, and the Y a little bit. Yes, it is from Video Copilot. Good catch. Alright, honestly, the displacing the background is not doing a ton. I mean, it's doing a little bit, but I think me personally, I think I prefer it without it. Possible to make an animation frame by frame. You can give it so technically you could do frame by frame animation in DaVinci Resolve, but I don't know how practical it would be. Yes, I am probably gonna save the stream so we can watch it later. So like if you wanted to make animation frame by frame in DaVinci, you could, so either you could, you know, make masks like in the shape of whatever the character. Then if you want to move, you move the masks a little bit. I saw a video that was like that in After Effects, and it was pretty impressive. So maybe I would try something like that. So then the mask will automatically animate. You could do that. That would you would need a lot of planning, and it would be with, you have to do it with a very specific looking character, you know, like yeah, I don't know how much more efficient it would be than rigging, but you could use a combination. If you wanted to like draw, like do drawn frame by frame animation, that's a good point, or you can use shape nodes. I don't think I've actually ever used shape nodes. I should look into that. But on this tangent, if you wanted to add frame by frame, you could add a paint. You could add a paint node. Set the stroke duration. Make sure you're on color. Multi-stroke. So then can set the settings. I don't think I want any softness. So then you can, let's make sure so then you can, whoops, what's up with this? Oh wait, no, I need to be on color. Then set to black. Now you can draw a frame, draw your next frame, draw your next frame, draw your next frame, and so on and so forth until you have an animation. It's not great. It would probably be better to use for this. It would probably be better to use like an actual animation program, but I mean, technically you can do it if you really wanted to. That option is available to you. It's just would probably be more trouble than it's worth. Let's see, just how you did the little, yeah. So the nice thing about nodes is you can reuse different nodes for multiple things without having to like copy and paste them. So for example, what we did is, so I have this footage, screen footage, cut that out. I don't actually need this merge. Then we are displacing it with this map, just displacing it to add some glitches. So here's where it splits. So we add these lines to it, and then over on the side, we add this directional blur from the scan lines. And then we have the scan lines and the directional blur going into the same merge. Then we color correct that so it's blue, add a little bit of glow, and then we have that, add that over everything on screen. So now that's how you can make a hologram effect. Oh, I guess another good use case for this would be text. So choose something futuristic. None of these look futuristic. There we go, kind of like retro futuristic. It's fun. Kind of hard to read, but who cares? Scan lines aren't showing up much. I bet you need them. Need it to be slightly. There you go. There you go. Boom. Now you have hologram words. Although looking at this, it kind of reminds me of the Superman, like opening credits for the Christopher Reeve Superman. That could be fun. I wonder. All right, so we need a starry background. So let's bring up this to 100. Contrast, brightness, less. Actually, we can just do this. Oops. Nope. Actually, just -5. Too much. There we go. Stars. There we go. So now we need text. So Superman. Not ma'am. Man. Superman. Let's see, what font is it? Add this, oops. Oh, that one open sans. This is probably fine. So I can just red outline, and then I don't actually want the fill. I just want the outline. And then I think they're blue. Yeah, it's blue. All right, so merge that over. So I want to add a transform. So let's bring this up super big for, Superman. Does it come? I think it actually comes from above. Like, I don't think it goes through the letters. So let's size. So I think we want to, I don't know, maybe take 30 frames. We can adjust that. And then, obviously, I want to be super big. Maybe bigger, maybe 7. Boom, yeah. And then I'll have it up since I think it comes down. Alright, that doesn't look great, so let's take our spline. Alright, so select all these, hit F. Even that's too fast. So I think the size. Why am I not getting a handle for this one? I guess I can. Oh, to snap like this, to make it fill the screen, that I'm just pressing this. So I want to ease in a lot, and I want to ease out. Actually, that is way too eased out. Yeah, I can quickly go over how we made the hologram effect. So what we did, cut out our subject, the green screen, right? displace that with a fast noise here to get some kind of glitchy stuff. Added some scan lines. Then off of that, we have a directional blur set to radial so that we can have it kind of like a projector line. Then I merged that on top, made it blue with a color corrector, add some glow, and then merge that on screen. And that's how we made the hologram effect. Now back to a Superman. Okay. Alright. Nope, not keyframes. Alright, so... Oh, I kind of forgot we had those were settings. So let me just set them to linear for now. It's too fast, you know, I want to be slowing. Why do I ease in a bunch? Problem is, let me just be looking at the size for now. Maybe not, maybe we can slow down a little bit. Yeah, I'm planning on leaving the stream up for people to be able to go back and watch. Okay, that looks, I'm feeling pretty good about that, you know? Now we need the lines. So, I wonder if we could do this similarly to the Sonic thing. So let me copy that, paste it, because I still want the things to be intact. So I'll turn on motion blur. I'll make sure, yeah, motion blur's on. Bring up quality. Let's see, shutter angle. Yeah, there we go. Now we got motion blur on that. I'll bring up quality up again. All right. So then I'm going to add the echo. That's okay. We're close. This is what I'm looking for. I want the apply mode to be screen. Ooh, yeah. Oh yeah. This is it. And then subrames, maybe 2? Or is even that too much? What about just 1? Yeah, that 1's fine. Ooh. Oh yeah, this is it. Like this is it. We got it. I think once it gets here, I'm gonna have it be 0. So Echo is a free plugin you can get on Reactor. Woo! Oh, look at that. I like that. That is clean. Do I want it to like the things to dissolve a little bit after? I think I'll try that. I think I will. Maybe a little after, so you still see them for a while, because I think that's how it was in the original. So they come in. It's so satisfying when things work. Like when it all comes together, like that is the most satisfying thing ever. Honestly, I feel like I like how it was originally. It may not be like exactly like it was in the original, but I think we're doing our own thing here. Just gonna go ahead and make the opening credits for the new Superman movie. You're welcome, James Gunn. that is clean. I wonder if maybe if we made this a little bit longer so that it's a little bit smoother. So like, actually I think it was fine as it was before. So now what we do is we take this for the original and screen. Does it need to be longer? Do we think the trail should be a little longer? I'm gonna try. Let's see what 10 looks like. Is that too long? I think it's bad. I think I'm gonna bring up the quality all the way too, just so that it's a little bit smoother. How many plugins does Reaktor have? I don't actually know. It has a ton. It's really impressive, especially once again for being free. I am loving this. When I say DaVinci Resolve can do full motion graphics, like I would say so. I think it can. You can do a lot with it. I will admit I mostly do VFX stuff, so I'm not as tapped into the motion graphics stuff. But from what I've seen and from the little that I've played around with it, you can do motion graphics with it. I think. How do we feel about the timing? Because like right now it's like shh, and that looks good, like that looks fine, but like do we want to have it fade out a little bit more smoothly? Okay, and it is so like once it gets, I think I will try it. So since it's moving, it has 10 frames this time to fade out. I think I will try. So this is at 32, so this should be at 42. Yeah, I think that looks better. No, yeah, you're right. That's the other benefit about Resolve, is that you have the editing and the motion graphics all in one. Oh yeah. Yes. That is smooth. I am liking that. Alright, so then here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the blend, and maybe 10 frames later, I'm going to bring it back down to normal. So now, oh yeah, I think that's it. That is. Now, the real question is, does it look good if we have a different thing? So like, for example, what if instead of text, we bring in a Superman symbol? Do I have a classic one? I know I have a picture of the new one. Well, maybe let's do a picture of the new one. Ooh, yeah, the Kung Fu Panda things could be pretty good to do in Fusion. Alright, so, I mean, this is the new logo. I mean, it's not actually the new logo. It's the one that the new logo is based off of. But, alright, let's see. I want to make it yellow. I mean, the, This is a lot of work just to make it yellow again, but oops, I think it should be probably more of a there we go. That should. Problem is I don't want. There we go. Oh, there we go. I don't need this blur. That. All right. Do we want it to be a little bit lighter? There we go. That's it. That's it right there. Okay. So what if instead of text? Right, so what I'll do is I will make. I'm gonna hover over these, hit Alt, make the pipe router. Now we can plug anything into it. So first off, I want to make sure that yep. Okay, so problem is I don't think we want it to be starting from here. So let's see. In the original, let's see, so in the original, do they have the logo as like an outline or as like the full logo? Okay, so I think actually if let's see. Okay. So yes, I can definitely explain what. So this is just this is the picture of the logo I have, because in the comics this logo is black in the middle. So what I did is I just put it over this background just so that it's in the same resolution as everything else. Then I added a Luma keyer so I can get just the alpha of the black part. And then I plug that into a yellow background. And then I have that going into the other thing. And then I use the alpha of this one to cut it out so that we don't have the yellow on the outside. That's what I was doing. All right, so let's take a look at this. It's slow, certainly slow. I wonder how much it would be less slow if I was just using the original picture and then. All right, I'll just use the picture for now, and then I will add those things after. So I don't know how much, because the problem is the screen is making this look white. I guess I could play around with the transform so that it starts in the middle or in one of the black parts. There's definitely potential. Let's see. I don't know if this one's gonna look as good as the as the text, but who knows? Yeah, I think it's too bright. Yeah, that is definitely too bright. Now the question is, what to do about it? Let's see. I don't actually know what we should do about this one. Maybe... Oh, what if... Okay. Hear me out. We add an edge detect. Let's take a look at that. No, I want it to be less wide. Then, actually, maybe if I turn this on, we're not getting any of the yellow, which is a little unfortunate. I would. Oh, wait. No, no. Well, now it's green. Why is it green? Why is it green? Oh well, I guess I will just have it be red then. Oh well. Okay. Are we looking at... We're not looking at any values higher than 1. Can live with that. Alright, so now we've got something a little bit more, hopefully a little bit more manageable. There we go. That's cool. That's cool. So long, faded banjo. Now for this one, I would definitely need to bring up the quality because it's definitely, you can definitely tell it's a little steppy. Let's see how that looks when we play. Alright, I think what I want to do is, alright, I want to keep these transforms because they worked like perfectly for the text. So I'm going to turn this one off, look at this one to start, and the size, let's just make it, I just want it to be so that it is fully in the dark, you know, in the black. There we go. There, oh, come on. Just a little bit. No, come on. There we go. There we go. There we go. Wait, did it? No, it didn't. Ah. Alright. Do I have to make it bigger? Then lower. Here we go. Alright, then I will copy this one. This one. I will turn on motion blur. Bring up that motion blur. And I want the shutter angle to be high. I wonder if I should bring up a little bit of blur. Just so we don't have these harsh edges that look better. It's about the same. It's about the same. But, you know, so be it. Alright, now, with the echo, nope, I want the echo to be going from here. Alright. Come on, come on. Ah, this is cool. It's slow, but it's cool. And the rule of cool is all that matters here. Come on. There we go. Ooh. that is clean. That is clean. Alright, so now... Please don't have to re-render the whole thing. Yes, it does have to re-render the whole thing. Fantastic. But what I'm doing in here is I will have the yellow version, but I will have the just red version in the other one. So I'll let this render out once again, but it's part of the process. Ah, this is cool. This is a cool effect. It does make me wonder how they did it in, you know, the, I think 70s when they, yeah, the 70s when they did the original. Like, how do you do something like this in the 70s? It's crazy. All right, now let's see how it looks. Stars. Alright, so actually here's the thing. I think the whole thing might actually be screen. Got your Superman intro right here, James Gunn. That is cool. That is cool. I like that. Although I think in the original one, the logo is a little bit darker. So I might actually just so like this. Let's see, I don't know. That makes sense. That makes sense how they would do it that way. I don't know. What are you thinking? Darker so you can see the glow better, or so your problem is when you make the yellow darker, it looks ugly, like dark yellow, like not orange, dark yellow. It just looks it looks ugly. You know what? Let's just go for it. Right. Now what's going to be the really fun thing is when we replace this with the Batman logo. There's an idea. The next Justice League movie, just do this, but with everyone's logos. Okay, but genuinely though, I do have to try this with Batman's logo. Like it is obligatory. It's obligatory. That let's see, this. Oh, that's high res. Let's resize that just so it's something, you know, manageable. Ooh, yeah, I can already tell this is going to be fun. I don't like that. This needs to go, and the edge detect one needs to go. I don't think we need to go as big with this one, you know, like, oops. yeah, I think we can get away with being smaller since, you know, the bat logo is mostly black. So now, so we can probably just have it be, we could probably have it just be like right in the middle there. Okay, then, yeah, I'm just gonna delete this, copy, paste it. So now we have the same thing, but with the outline, and we're using motion blur. Oh no, wait, that means that I have motion. Alright, I don't actually want an instance. I've seen a tutorial for the jump to light speed in Resolve. It was who made it? Who made it? I can't remember. Yeah, I don't remember, but I've seen, although they didn't use trails, I think they used like actual 3D cylinders that they expanded the size of. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, not loving the color of our Batman thing. So I think what I'm gonna do is make it, I'll just add a color corrector. Just change the hue until it's more of a golden. There we go. So now the yeah, that looks better. It was a little too much of like a, not a neon yellow, but it was pretty strong. Now again, for this, I would need to crank up the quality and probably the subframes too. But like, it's cool. And then see how that looks. I like that. I like that. It's fun. Where's the oh, this is what I was trying to look at. Yeah. Nah, I still think the text was the best looking one, but I mean, like, that makes sense. Like, that's what we're used to seeing this effect in the context of, and also I think it just looks the cleanest. Like, the blue looks really nice with this trails effect. Now, I don't normally like play around with motion graphics as much as VFX, but like making like a movie or like trailer things, that's kind of the exception. Like that I find really fun. Like that's, come on, like that's cool. That is cool. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Alright, so, let's see. How long have we been going? 3 hours. That's not too bad. Still got some people watching. Alright, this is completely random. Alright, just going off the thing, but playing around with the, where is it? Batman symbol and our hologram specifically with this thing. That's got me wondering how a bat signal would look. Let us see. Alright, so I need some footage with clouds. Do I have any stock footage with clouds in it? Source files. It needs clouds and it needs, like, I don't know, ideally you have like a city, you know, like for reference where it's coming from. Let's see, stock footage. Let's see. Do I have any footage that is acceptable for this? No, it's not. It's not what I'm looking for. Problem is, you need it to be dark, like night, you know, and you need it to be cloudy. That's not. Some of those are some specific requirements. Alright, this isn't the most ideal, but we'll just play around with this for now. Mostly I just want to see if you can get it to look like it's like interacting with the clouds, you know? So something like that. So we will take where's our Batman signal? That's Superman. Boom. That signal. Let's merge that over. Alright, so, whoops, pardon me. Obviously I'm going to want it to be screen. I'm definitely going to add a DVE. DVE. So I will make that look cloud, you know, like how big it would be on the clouds. Let's see, where do I want it? I want it to be, maybe let's put it here. Does that look right, or does it need to be a little bit more flat? Oh, we can play around with it. I do think so. The bat signal is usually more circular, you know. So bring down the X size a little bit, so it's something like that. Problem is our thing doesn't look nearly flat enough now, so maybe something like this. Yeah, we can fiddle around more. So I want to make this look like it's on top of the clouds. So I want to move with the clouds, so I will add a displace. Plug our clouds into that. So do I want to? No, I don't want to. So I want to bring down the X and Y reflection. And actually I won't link these. They can be still separate. So like that. So that's looking a little more like it's part of the clouds. I do think I'll bring up the spread just just a little bit so it's not like perfectly. And I still think I want it to be like here, maybe. So now it looks more like it's part of the clouds. I think I want to bring down the opacity, so it's, I don't know. I definitely, let's see, do I want to add the blur before or after? I definitely want blur, like it's gotta be mostly blurred. Yeah, I think having the blur before the displace adds a lot. Maybe I can bring down the spread. Okay, that's cool. I think it needs to be less saturated, like it needs to be more like a light, like a searchlight. Yeah, it should probably be maybe more blurred, like probably shouldn't see a ton like how bat-like it looks, like it would probably be more realistically mostly blurred. I think there looks fine. Again, this would be better if it were like a city or something. Now, let's add our directional blur. Set the type to radial. I think -3 is what we found. Wait. Sorry. -0.3. That was going to be too strong otherwise. Add that on top. Boom. So now it's a little hard to see, so I could glow. Now we got this glow. I want it to be screen. So maybe I don't want it to be so intense, like it's subtle, keep it subtle. So now, again, this picture, there's not really a suitable place for it to be coming from, but we got that signal right there. That does not look terrible. I am not too, I think that looks pretty nice. Alright, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all the idea I had for what to do, but if you guys have any more suggestions, I'm happy to, if people are still watching, still interested, I'm happy to keep going, Anything? Yeah, that's... Yep. Made bat signal, made a Superman, I guess opening credits type thing. This is fun. I don't know how it would do as a tutorial, but like, this is a fun looking effect. because that looks like it's moving along with the cloud, which is it's cool. Do you ever make custom transition or macros? I've thought about it. I've looked into making macros and stuff like that. The biggest thing is like I would like to like make them and like, you know, like distribute them or sell them, something like that, because a lot of my tutorials would work as them. The only thing is I don't know how to distribute them. Like I don't know how to if there's like a site or something I should use. I mean, I've looked into it a little bit, but could probably look into it a little bit more if that was something that there was demand for. Bubble, ooh, force field. Ooh, that's a cool idea. That's a cool idea. All right, so how do we do that? So we need, why don't we go back to our Star Wars background, because that's a very good place to start. And you know what? Just for fun, let's have the cat's trying to get in again. See, where's our, here we go. All right, so now this guy, instead of being a force ghost, will be in a force field. So, all right. So I think this is going to be a 3D thing. So I'm going to shape 3D, and that is definitely going to be a sphere, obviously. Now, the thing that will make this really work is the latitude. We can make a sphere look like it's partially, excuse me, let me look, yeah, maybe with that. No, yeah, I don't really have time at the moment to look into it, but that's something that I will look into going forward. When he oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. All right, so I want to add a camera 3D and a render 3D. I'll just go ahead and move that over. I'm gonna add a directional light. I'm probably not actually going to use a light in this. I just want to be able to see what's, you know, going on. So I want my camera to match. Actually, I wonder. Let me get rid of this. I wonder if it'll work. I can just do it in the there we go. We're doing this the janky way. I don't need to make a full scene for it. Let's just bring down this and the rotation. Do I need to? Well, it needs to be smaller. Definitely needs to be smaller. Let's bring that down. Is it too big? Is it too big? That's the question. It should be a little bit smaller, yeah? Maybe even smaller. He can fit. Here we go. Maybe a little bit more down here. Alright, now I don't need that additional light. Alright, so the question now is, what does a force field look like? Okay, so I think it's like glowy. I think it's like probably a fast noise. It's probably, all Alright, it is. All right, so, and I don't want lighting. I just want this. And now that I see that, it needs to be more like this. And I can just bring that down. There we go. Alright, so let's bring this to over here. This fit. Alright, so I'm definitely going to want detail. I imagine I'm going to want discontinuous and inverted. That seems like what it look like. Alright. Alright. Again, on the other screen, I'm looking at some reference. Okay, that's not too. It's not too complicated. So the scale is going to be up a little bit. Color. All right, so we have transparent. I guess let's do gradient just so we don't get any accidental things we don't want. So the color is going to be kind of like, yeah, that looks like the color. Contrast. Yes, brightness. Yes, brightness. I can bring out the contrast, but I don't want as much brightness. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest, this doesn't look super exciting, but like I'm looking at this at what it looks like in the actual movie, and it's really not that complicated. Like this is what they look like, so like it's really not that complicated of a thing. But you know what, this is our force field, so we can afford to make it whatever we want. So first off, I can tell in the shape 3D I'm gonna need more subdivisions. Alright, so we can use this as a general idea to make it our own. First off, I want more, let's see, well I definitely want it to be screen. Alright, so angle, do I want to put it with an angle? No, I don't, because it looks all the same. Alright, so the problem is it's kind of pinching at the top. I don't know if there's a good way to not have that be the case. Would I don't know, maybe a coordinate? That made it worse. How fun. That, well now we have 3 times as many. Not 3 times as many. Twice as many. That is not helpful. Okay. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to fix the fast noise pinch, but I'm not really sure what the best way to go about it is. It's not. I don't, let's see. Is there a way? Idea. So we've got this, right? There's still pinching. It's just on the side if we do it that way. This is a puzzler. Let's see. What if... I can like already feel that this isn't going to do what I want. Oh, there is still pinching. A corner. Does anyone know why the corner positioner like always starts at the most random points? Like, I want to start from default and then, you know, do stuff to it. what I'm trying to do is if I make it get wider as it goes along, will that fix the pinching? It seems to be not. Actually, it seems to be making kind of everything pinch. Although it kind of looks cool, but it's really not. It's really not doing anything. There's still the pinching there. That is. I'm gonna be honest, I am not sure what to do. I think in After Effects there might be a special type of noise made for going around spheres. Ooh, wait. What if I add a shape 3D, right? But I use a Ico sphere. Then plug it into this. Oh. Well, we have replaced one problem with a whole nother problem. What on earth? Okay. So Icosphere is not the solution. I mean, I suppose one solution is we could just ignore it. Like, just... I mean, let's see. From the angle we're shooting this at, now you can see it. You can totally see it. Well, I'm just going to keep tweaking this until we get to a point, and then we will worry about that later, you know? You know what might be cool is if we add a reflect mode. UV mapping tool. UV map. Oh. Might be onto something. Cylindrical. Cylindrical still has it. Spherical. Well, I mean spherical just leaves us back where we were, obviously. What about cube map? Cube map? It almost works. It almost works. We have everything at default. We're getting some clipping. XYZ. No. Camera. I need a camera for that. Planar. What? Okay, what if I center? Problem is with us, there's stretching. But from our angle, will it matter? It kinda works. It kinda works. If you have it just right. It's not terrible. I don't know if I'm feeling this. Okay, so the problem with that is that it's still a lot of stretching. I mean, if we bring up the size, is that? No, it's not. I mean, it's an interesting look. Like, it's kind of a warpy look, but is it what we're looking for? Map mode spherical. Doesn't, I mean, let me just, anything default. Spherical. Yeah, that, we still have pinching like that. That still puts us back at where we are. I mean, although I guess we could, oops. Well, that's the same. We could. Nope, still a thing there. Z. Nope, still have stretching. What if we just rotate? No. Rotate. Well, that definitely isn't. Yeah, I don't know if these are working. Yeah, I don't know if this will fit. No, that. Planar fit. Symmetrical fit. Yeah, I don't know about this. I mean, this is probably the best one, but we still have some harsh lines. And it has like a weird shape to it. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is this worth trying to make work? And if so, how can we make it work? Well, let's see. I could go ahead and make this. Go ahead and make this seamless. So what I'm doing for this is I am making a tileable thing that, oh, that's not what I mean. Let's see. Okay, so now if I soft edge this. So now this is tileable, and actually, oops, with the UV map. No, we still have those harsh lines. All right, but I think this is the best looking one we've gotten so far. So we'll just push forward with this one. All right. So I think maybe what I might do is, what do I want to do? So the problem is we need a way to get him in the middle of it. So I guess what I could do is output channels, make sure Z, I think world position. See if I remember how to do this. I did this for one of my tutorials, but it's been a minute. Let's see, it's channel boolean, right, channel booleans. So then Z, I'm looking for Z position. Z position. Z position. Z position. So now that I have no idea what those things are. But this gives us, wait, oh man. I don't know about that. What about, all right, so we'll make two versions of it. So now we have a front and a back half. Oops. So now what we do is we put him on top of the back half. This is a very professional setup. Then we have the front half. Boom, now he is inside of his little force field. Alright, so now we just gotta get the force field looking cool. Well, if it's flowing up, that looks cool. That looks cool. So I'm gonna animate that. I think I'm gonna use an expression. for the y time. Would it be so? So by 100 minus 100. What if we going the other way? Oh, well. Oh, wait, no, with UV map, it's. Yeah, that's cool. I will also. We can also bring out the seethe rate a little bit, you know? What I think I will do is I will add a displace node, which will be driven by this. I think I'll do this one. And I'll copy. See, I tried using the coordinate space, and it was just leaving like kind of like a flower-shaped thing on it. So I don't think it was quite what we're looking for. Alright, so let's give this a color because we don't want it to be. Add a matrix bullet. Add a matrix bullet effect to this. I don't know about that. I mean, I guess if he's making this force field to protect himself from the bullets. Alright, so everyone knows that force fields are blue. I think I'm gonna add a point here because it's gonna go from white to blue, you know? Yeah, like that. Ooh, that's cool. That's cool. Let's you know what, and let's make sure the contrast is just a little bit more. Because I want more white, you know? I want it to be more glowy. Looks cool. Yeah. Okay, we got a little something. Got something. It looks weird, but we got something. Then we can. What do we need? We can add some glow. We will add some glow. I think for this, a soft glow will be fine. Or, you know, let's try an X glow. Sometimes they can be a bit overpowering, like that, but if we bring up the threshold, that should make it a little bit more manageable. When I start the first frame, that's usually easier to cache. Make sure high quality motion blur off. Proxy. There you go. You know, I think for this, a soft glow might be in order. I'm currently using 18.6 version. I know 19 is technically out, but it's still in beta, so I like to wait until these things are like in the full release before I start messing around with them. And also just like, I don't like updating stuff, like it's a whole process. This is on screen right now, it's not on screen. That's the problem. And I'll make a really big one. Bring up more threshold. Well, this is something. It's a lot, you know, like it's cool. It's cool, but it's a little cartoony. So let's make everything just a little bit less, you know. I still like some light. Let's see. No, bring down the brightness. No, why don't we bring down the contrast? and then bring down the brightness. So, you know, I still want there to be some, oops. I want there to be some whites, but just a little bit. And this, why don't we have that be darker? And then still have there be even less white. Still want the whites to be like pretty. Or what I can really be doing is I can have one version of this that is this one I'll bring up the contrast. I'll bring up the size a lot. There we go. Now we got a little something. Bring up the brightness. Oh no, I don't want it to be. I do want it to be mostly white. That's kind of cool. Our glows are completely useless now, but see, I want it to be subtle, you know? I want it to be subtle. And you know what? This needs some reflections. There we go. Not resize. Reflect. And then I will take our Star Wars background. I'll plug this into a sphere map. I know ideally that you would have it be an actual 360 photo, but this will be fine. Then I'll plug this into the color material. Ooh, now it's a shiny. Now it's a shiny thing. I think that's what we were missing. I do think I should actually have, before the sphere map, add a luma keyer, so that it is just the brightest parts that are getting, you know, added on. That's looking... maybe not. There we go. But I don't need it to be that. Then I will add a little bit of bump, you know. So I'll add a... Actually, why don't we use this? Create bump map. And actually, this is what needs to be going into the reflect. So this can be what goes into the bump map. Oh wait, no. Oh wait, that is what I wanted. Whoops. Bump map, that's what I need. Into the bump map. Okay, that's a little bit more. Maybe I want the height scale. Actually, I kind of like that. It's almost like watery. It's cool. Now let's take a look at how this is looking. Oh wait, this needs to actually go into our Shape 3D. Well, now we've got some lighting on the thing, which is automatically making it look cooler. Yeah, that's looking better. We're still not getting a lot of that glow there that I want. So I think I will try the X glow. There we go. There we go. It's pretty subtle, but it looks cool. That looks much better, I think. Actually, I'm looking at this. Maybe it does. Let's just keep that glow up. Force field. It's gotta have some glowy stuff. That looks cool. I like that. Alright, so the question is now, how will it does kind of look like a crystal ball. Alright, so the question is, how will we animate the song? Actually, maybe the reflect's a little bit strong. Maybe it would be kind of like this. There we go. It's not quite as intense, but it's still there. We can still appreciate it. Okay. You are right, it does need some lighting on the environment. I will have some glow on the back too, so it's more full. Then it is kind of look like a magical, something like a Disney movie, That's what's getting me. But Disney owns Star Wars, so it's all good. Alright, so in our shape 3D, I do like, okay, I'm gonna have to do this in both of them. I do like the idea of having it show up when so like, I think it'll start here. It'll start here, so I'll keyframe, and then when he claps, here's when it'll finish. So here, then I'll just, and then I'll do the same on this one. So the keyframe here, what frame was I at? 35. Alright, I think I want, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to temporarily merge these together just so I can kind of see what I'm doing. So it's cool. I am going to select both of these, go to the spline. Then I will just there we go. Does it look brighter than it did before? Yeah, I think it needs to be a little bit less. Doesn't have to be so intense. Alright, right now it looks like he's on top of it, even though like, okay, maybe this one can be. There we go, like that looks like he's inside. Right. Then what I'm gonna do is, vector, I'll add a vector motion blur. Specifically, oh, we crashed. That is our first crash. I mean, we pushed it pretty far, so I'm impressed. I will say I'm impressed. Here we go. Wonder how much it saved. Alright, we got it back. Fun. So, I think... Oh wait, did it? Oh wait, did we? Oh no, we didn't. I was like, did we lose everything on the force field? But we did not. Fear not. Okay, so this is something. This is something. I'm gonna be honest, this is one of the things that is why it's good to have reference, because when you're just doing it on your own, this doesn't look bad, but it's interesting. It's interesting. I think as a final touch, just so we can see what it looks like, I will add some lighting, around the ground. What are we making? We are kind of just going along, making it up as we go along, but we are making a force field around Billy McGuire for some reason. This is where we got, you know what, I think I want this to be over here. Alright, do I want to bring up the gain? Yes I do. Alright, so the only thing is I need this to thought we were going to crash on that again. Let's make sure we are on proxy. Maybe half resolution. That should be better. Alright, so when does it fully land? Alright, here is where it fully lands. Therefore, I will put a keyframe here, and then once we get over here, there should be nothing on the ground. Now, he is materializing a force field. This is certainly something. You know what? I am not feeling the little fairy dust. I'm not feeling it. But it needs detail. It needs detail, but just I don't know how I feel about the little. I could, let's see. Let's see. If I make them bigger, how's it look? I feel like it's gonna look weird. It's actually not terrible. It's actually not as bad. Like, it's a little less distracting. Alright, so I am rather interested to see what this looks like once we render it. This is going to be something. This is going to be something, alright. When in doubt, blur. That is a good advice right there. It's actually rendering faster than I thought it would. One of the best. Oh, thank you. That is very kind of you. All right. almost there. Alright, I think after this finishes rendering, might call it for today, just because we've been going for almost 4 hours. I mean, I have no idea how this one's going to look. Alright, it's about almost halfway. I can already see something's happening. See, if we were like spending more time on this, then I would like, I don't know, like add some light wraps around him or something, make him look a little bit more like he's inside there, but we were just messing around, just having fun. Alright. Ooh. I will say though, like having it like you can see it go around him, like that's cool. That's cool. I like that. Almost looks like kind of like watery, you know, with the things kind of dancing around. Well, thank you. Glad you guys enjoyed it, like the tutorials. Hoping we can get this to finish rendering. It's moving fairly breezily. Yeah, I enjoyed this. I might do more live streams. I don't know, this summer is gonna be very busy for me, so I don't know how consistent uploads are going to be, and I don't know how much chance I'll have to live, but if I have the opportunity, I might do it again. This has been fun. Almost there. A reflection, that would have... We have a very shiny floor. You have this very bright thing, so having a reflection in that would have been good. It's working this way. Almost there. Getting there. Honestly, in the little bits I can see, like the white things, like that turned out better than I thought. Like that looks kind of cool. I don't know what it looks like, but it looks, I don't know. Looks cool. Almost looks like, you know, like highlights in the water. Again, like it looks very watery, even though that's not necessarily what it was going for. But like it looks cool. Looks cool. What, I was into the end of Gray live streams? I don't know. It's bad timing. We've been going for a while. Yeah, it's definitely unique. I think it doesn't look half bad, you know? For the most random of things to... Oh, I didn't... I think it crashed when I tried to add the motion blur to it, so that's why it doesn't have any... Because it does look a little... Motion blur would definitely help it, you know? yeah, I do like that you can like see it going around him. That looks nice. And who knows, maybe next stream I'll have more of a plan for what. Have like all right, for this stream we are specifically going to be tackling this effect. I don't know. Or we can keep it chill. Who knows? We definitely got some stuff. Like, we made some stuff. I think this especially turned out pretty good. Again, I really like those sparks. They turned out pretty nice. Looking at it, I would add some blur, like motion blur to it, because at the moment it doesn't really have any. So that could help. And then I don't know, maybe a little bit more blur. Lens flare looks nice, especially with this thing moving along with it. And obviously, you know, she's not reacting or anything, but that's more on the footage than itself. Although I wonder what it'd be like if they made like, you know, like Ghostbusters rifles, you know, like with sniper and stuff on it. Idea for the next movie if they wanna use it. We're getting there. We're almost there. Here we go. Here we go. Now we can see it. There we go. That is something, you know? It's honestly cooler than I thought it was gonna turn out being. There were some moments there when I was not sure whether it was going to turn out, but it's not bad. Not bad. Well, thank you to everyone who came for a first live stream. This was, I would call this a success. So, thanks for everyone who came. And yeah, thanks again for 10,000 subscribers. All right. See ya.